Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cali Current Podcast. It's your best and favorite hosts, Grimace.
And Dish. Hey, we hope everybody's doing great today.
Yeah, and we're back with another exciting episode. And today we're gonna come at you with some Cali Current news, or actually some federal current, not just Cali Current, some USA current news. Some big news that I want to announce, or that we're gonna announce, and it's gonna be our first segment that we're gonna talk about today, is gonna be that just recently the federal government, more specifically the commander in chief, President Donald Trump, just recently moved and made a declaration that they're gonna reclassify marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3. Basically, that's big in history. I mean, for the longest time, marijuana was scheduled as a Schedule 1 drug, meaning it was in the list of drugs, such as the hardest drugs, the worst ones, the ones that when you see the people on the streets, the homeless, and I mean, if you live in the ghettos, I mean, Santa Ana, I mean, West City doesn't have a ghetto, right? But in the ghettos of Santa Ana, or just on the streets of Santa Ana, you'll see like
Southern Cal mostly, actually. No,
Southern California, yeah, because in Los Angeles, the Inland Empire, you have what people call street walkers, where people are just kind of being transients on drugs and
daywalkers,
day walkers.
night walkers,
So yeah,
prosties,
because yeah, basically before
chupacabras.
marijuana was scheduled as Schedule 1. Schedule 1 drugs are like heroin, LSD, basically that they have no medical use. And marijuana was scheduled like as such, but the crazy part is that a lot of people, I mean, over time, you've had people that were marijuana enthusiasts that would use it recreationally, medicinally.
And that's the difference between this country and all other countries in Europe, because we're like the country of prudes. Yeah, the Quakers founded this country, or whatever the case may be, but then it turned into the country of prudes because marijuana is supposed to help. There's medical marijuana. There's, well, I said it already, medicinal, or whatever the case may be, but, it has its benefits. It helps a lot of people that are, being treated for cancer or other hard things that they're going through, or whatever the case may be. I know somebody right now that's basically dying of colon cancer. I don't really speak to her anymore, but, you know, it helps. It soothes people. It helps people relax. It helps with a lot of different ailments like anxiety. My wife has anxiety issues, and, I'm not trying to out anybody, but it does sort of help. Me personally, I don't really do it, but I have done it before. But it has its purposes, right?
Yeah, so basically when they sign it, it's gonna be a less dangerous, and they're gonna a less dangerous drug, and they're gonna acknowledge medical use. So, and also in additional, they're gonna focus on medical research, which is basically the changes. Like, just giving you guys a little synopsis. If tuning into this episode, we're giving you a synopsis of it. They're going to focus on medical research. So now the federal government is going to open up avenues for scientific study into cannabis and cannabinoidal, which is abbreviated as CBD, cannabinoidal benefits, reducing the regulatory benefits that before would hinder research for decades. Federal agencies are being directed to speed up the classification process. Another thing, though, unfortunately, President Trump made it clear that this does not legalize marijuana nationwide for recreational use. Although here in California, Cali Current, it is legal here for recreational use. You just got to be of 21 years age, and you could go, go use and get benefits from that medicine drug. But it doesn't immediately change any criminal penalties for simple possession under federal law, which still classifies cannabis as illegal without FDA approval.
Yeah, so it just depends where you live. It's not illegal everywhere, but it depends where you live. In California, it hasn't been illegal since 2000 and the early 2000s, or whatever the case may be. I mean, there's medical use, there's whatever recreational use. Me personally, I've never needed it for anything myself. I've used it before. I've tried it just to see what kind of effects it does on me. The first time I really tried it was with my, with whoever,
What do you mean with whoever? With who? What do you mean with whoever? Put you on the spot, cuz.
I'm not trying to out anybody, but I've already said it before where I've tried it with my wife the first time. We had an edible.
Oh, nice.
And she said that the first time I ever did it with her, in general for me, she's probably done it before or whatever the case was. I was speaking Latin, and I don't speak Latin. I don't know Latin. I've always wanted to learn Latin, but, I don't know, that things happen, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm not against it because I've done it before. It has its purposes, like I've mentioned. But, it just depends what you want to use it for. There's THC because it depends on the type of category you want to classify, because marijuana has a lot of different purposes, right?
Yeah.
THC, HBD.
No, it's THC, and the other one is CBD.
CBD, there we
go.
So
THC is the one, I used to be a big marijuana enthusiast, and, when I was younger, I would use it just to, to have a good time. But, yeah, I kind of weaned off it because I understand, like alcohol, it's not good to be drinking all the time. It's also not good to be smoking all the time. But yeah, CBD is basically you get the medicinal benefits of it without getting the fun part of it. As younger people or people who like to smoke for fun,
it could be
CBD removes the fun part of it.
Correct, but
the
it could be brought down.
part of it.
Yeah, correct. It could be brought down as an oil or whatever, or something like that. That's the CBD part. The THC part
is the one that's when people use it as a party drug. Yeah, as a fun part. Yeah, the fun part or the whoa, I feel a little bit different part. Like when people drink and you get a buzz, that's THC. CBD, when you only get the CBD, then it's just you only get the body, like the relaxation. Your muscles feel the difference. Like me, like how you said, like you never needed it. I wouldn't say I needed it. But then again, if you don't know and understand it, then how are you going to know if you need it? Like, there was a time when I was forced to stop due to legality issues. I had to stop smoking and drinking.
You were forced.
I was forced, yes.
You didn't want to stop. You were forced to stop.
I was forced to stop due to legality issues and crime, whatever the law. But... So me, like I'm an avid workout person. Like I work out 6 days out of the week, sometimes 7, usually 6.
Damn.
I know. I like pushing that weight.
Okay, look. Health as well. He's turned his life around a lot because he grew up chunky and now he's not, and he does work out. I don't work out.
I mean, I grew up chunky, but
I mean, what can I say? If I have another meal, it's gonna be my 4th meal of the night, of the day. But I'm, whatever. Point is that I don't have the munchies, but I've been a fatty lately.
We could always do a salad. You could always do a salad. You don't have to go for the burger.
Fuck salad. I'd rather drink water.
Okay, so yeah, you don't always need to okay. So I was forced to stop smoking and drinking. And I would work out all the time, which I still do to this day, because health is wealth. But once the period ended, they're like, you know what, you could go back to living your life. You're not under regulation or probation no more. I was like, okay, cool. And then the first time, like,
to say the least,
yeah, I did consume some cannabis, and then I was like, whoa, I could feel it through my body. Like my body was relaxing from all the weightlifting because I lift weights. And I don't know if clearly you know who Arnold Schwarzenegger is.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back.
He was like a weightlifting champion, Mr. Olympia.
In the 70s, yeah, when I was born.
Yeah, and he also would indulge in the cannabis, and it does relax your muscles.
Everybody that I mean, people want to deny stuff like that. I'm not gonna deny it. I have partaken in that stuff.
Yeah. So that's why, like, I did feel benefit from it. Like I would feel tension in my muscles, and then like when I would do cannabis, then I was like able to stretch. Like I was able to get a good stretch. I was like, yeah, Cause like I mean I would push my body to the limits, doing like a lot of push-ups, a lot of like I would work out, push weight, So it would help a lot on the resting portion of it. And then I hear a lot of NFL athletes and UFC fighters say also too for recovery, it would help them. But I do understand also it's really bad for the lungs. So I don't endorse it for any of our viewers. I would say maybe indulge in it like edibles, like you were saying how you and your wife were doing edibles.
That was the
I think
first
that
time
would be the recommended consumption.
Yeah, that's the first time that. Well, okay, look, to be more plainly honest, when I first met my wife, I met her in 2010. Then in 2012, unfortunately, events happened where my uncle passed away, which was my cousin. She's best friends with my cousin.
R.I.P.
So we went to the beach and we smoked it. And
at the beach?
Hell yeah, that's the best feeling ever.
I think I've only smoked at the beach like twice or maybe
whatever,
4 times.
We got KFC
often.
and it was the bomb.com.
And you guys had KFC, some munchies. Wow.
That was the first time we smoked it. But then when we had an edible, it was at home at wherever she lived. And I was there.
Okay.
And she said I remembered, even though I was, it's, the feeling is sort of a little bit undescribable. You skip like 10 seconds at a time, and I still remember the whole night, even though the fact that I have a good memory, and it's like she says I was speaking a different language, and I don't remember saying anything. She just said that I was speaking Latin. Point is that it just depends. Those were the first. I was tripping. Sorry, I'm sorry to say, but I was tripping balls. I had to call one of my friends that I recently, because he was a habitual smoker of weed or cannabis, and I had to ask him for advice.
Can you tell who it was or no?
His name was Ricky Wilson.
Ricky,
and I met him at the outdoor science school because I was part of that, and he was a habitual smoker. Like there's people that are basically functioning smokers, and I wasn't one of those. I was just doing it with them because they had it and they gave it to me, and I didn't have to pay for it. And I smoked and I drank because I like to drink sometimes, and the feeling was awesome. But it knocks me out. I can't do both. It knocks me the heck out.
I think it knocks you out. And it put you to sleep, right? Because that's what I've always heard too, and it's the truth. The side effects from cannabis is it makes you sleepy, hungry, and
okay. Well, there's sativa and there's indica when it comes to weed.
And happy.
But I think for the most part, I've possibly done a lot of indica when I'm drinking, and it knocks me the heck out. But I think one time when me and my wife did an edible, we were at a Christmas party for my job.
You guys did a Christmas
Christmas
edible at the party?
Yes, exactly. And I had a few drinks, and I still remember, even though I was slow, I still made it home. I drove us home, and we still made it.
We did not endorse that.
Yeah, I don't endorse it. Don't try it. But I don't know. I got lucky.
Nowadays, you can always take an Uber. If you're going to partake, you can always take an Uber because it's not safe. But I mean, for a non-habitual user, yeah, that is dangerous. I mean, see, that's the thing too. Also, if you're not used to it, it affects everybody differently. Because there's people who can smoke, and there's people that need to smoke just to feel normal. But when you get to the point that you need to smoke to feel normal, then I think that's low key, like that's kind of addictive. Versus when you're smoking, you still get all the benefits of it. Then that's when you're still being able to put it to use. But other good uses of it, like you were saying that you've never had a time that you need to use it. I mean, I would say, like me personally, I haven't really had too many hangovers. Yeah, I do like to drink alcohol, and I have reduced my alcohol consumption. When I was younger, I would really partake in alcohol and at unhealthy levels. But for whatever reason, I think just because my genetics, probably because both sides of my family that I come from, both of them were really into alcohol. So I never really got hangovers. But here and there, the next day I would feel a mini hangover. But then when I would consume a little bit of cannabis, boom, it would just disappear. Like not one bit of hangover. Like I would feel more than better. I'd feel really relaxed. And also after lifting weights or after that's another big thing. Like sometimes all of those of you followers who follow me on Snapchat or Instagram, you guys see like sometimes I'll be like, well before like maybe like months ago or a year ago when I was more into the cannabis consumption, I would be like, oh, post workout session. And yeah, those are one of the best because like, you know, my body just ran through a big gamut of what I would put it through, and then I would smoke a little bit and it would relax it. And it was really relaxing and it felt nice.
Speaking of hangovers, I don't get hangovers whatsoever.
You neither? High five.
Yeah, I've never had them. I don't get them. The only time that I really got I blacked out actually, was on tequila. I had 3 different tequilas, about 10 or 12 shots tequila. In one night. And yeah, that's the only time that I've ever really blacked out on anything. Because on weed, like I said, if I do smoke cannabis and or drink simultaneously, I'll fall asleep because it just knocks me the heck out. But I don't endorse it. I don't condone it. But my point is that I don't use it anymore because now I'm trying to I work with kids. And when I worked with when I worked in outdoor science school, a lot of those people that were up there with me on the mountain, they were functioning weed smokers, and I wasn't. And I like to party, and that's it. That's all I don't know what to say. You know, if it helps you out, if you have sort of a medicinal purpose for it, you know, more power to you. I don't condemn it either. So, you know, everybody has their fun, right?
They have their fun, and you know what? I mean, as you could see, like heavy cannabis users, like who's a heavy cannabis user that we could use aside from Snoop Dogg. I mean, Snoop Dogg does. He's an entertainer, so entertainers don't have to do too much. Mike Tyson,
he has his own brand.
Mike Tyson is a strenuous cannabis user, and he's in the ring. He was fighting in the ring, so that's pretty. Ricky Williams is an NFL football player. A lot of UFC fighters. So in other words, you could still do your job really well, like alcohol as well. But at the same time, just like alcohol, you can't abuse it to the point that you drink so much and then boom, next thing you know, you're like a drunk on the streets. Next thing you know, you're a hippie pothead on the streets just smoking cannabis and not being a contributive member to society. Like you have to have a balance. Like you have to use it here and there.
Yeah, I don't use it occasionally. I don't use it at all, actually. It's rare that I use it, you know. But if I do, I try to make sure that I use it responsibly. And if you need it for your own purposes, then, you know, you could do it from the comfort of your own home, you know, because I don't know what to say.
But yeah, see, it's a good thing that finally some president decided to reclassify it. Because if you're going to have cannabis in the same schedule or the same classification as LSD, heroin, and all these other drugs that are pretty heavy, like you can't do those heavy drugs and still live a normal life. Like, okay, you could do alcohol here and there. You could do cannabis here and there, and you could still function, maintain a normal life, and still go through the proceedings of your life without having to mess up your whole life. Versus if you do LSD, acid, heroin, what's another one? I don't know, all those terrible drugs, crack cocaine. If you do all of those drugs on the same basis that you would do like weed or alcohol, then no, you would end up on the streets, or you'd be like, your body would be deteriorating on the inside at an exponential level. So to have cannabis classified as those terrible drugs all those years is just ludicrous. So I think finally it's really good that they finally reclassified it. But a really terrible thing that I think where they dropped the ball on this reclassification was where I saw, like as I was saying, that they're not going to take off any of the criminal penalties. Because there's literally people, I mean, okay, so what they classify on the East Coast, right here, we're on Cali Current on the west side, the best side. On the East Coast, there's like a section of states called the Bible Belt. Do you know exactly which one the Bible Belts are? I know it's like the southeast.
Southeast, yeah.
I don't think it includes Florida though, because Florida's pretty wild. But the Bible Belt states is like New Orleans, Mississippi,
Alabama, New Orleans, and Louisiana. Places like that, whatever the case may be. But okay, so I don't know. I mean, I've done it. I'm guilty of it. People say it's a gateway drug, but no, it's not.
Yeah, so the Bible Belt states is Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North and South Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, and West Virginia. All of those states, or a lot of those states, the majority of those states, they have people literally right now imprisoned just because they had like 3.5 grams of marijuana cannabis. 3.5 grams is an eighth. That's what's called an eighth, which 3.5 grams is like probably like a good amount that would fit in my hand, in my palm. And that's ridiculous because I'm like, here in California, they allow us to grow cannabis. And you know what? When I was earlier, I liked growing it because I like to consume it. And now that I'm older, I don't really consume it as much, but to me now it's like a hobby. Like I like growing it just because I got a green thumb. You
consume it, but you grow it. I don't get that correlation.
I don't consume it as much. I mean, I'll consume it here sporadically.
You're
like
more of an alcoholic than a freaking weedaholic, right?
Yes. At this point, yes. But the cannabis, I still have a green thumb for it. For me, it's become a hobby. Like thanks to cannabis, now I know how to clone plants. Like I've grown an affinity for plants and horticulture overall.
Horticulture.
Not
whore and the culture. Horticulture.
You know what he's trying to say. But yeah, cannabis, it's a really good thing. And it just sucks that there's people right now literally sitting in a prison cell, sitting in jail, hopefully watching the football, Thursday night football, from their jail cell. But that's terrible just for a plant, just for something that was grown on earth. And I don't think that's right. And I think even right now there's a rap artist, Wiz Khalifa, Romania. He's a rap concert artist, and they're giving him 9 months in prison because he had I think it was like 20 grams of marijuana. And it's like, that's crazy.
You realize that Wiz Khalifa is the nephew or the whatever. He's related to Snoop Dogg, right?
I didn't know that. But that's still crazy that he's going to do months in prison in a foreign country. But then again, even here in one of the Bible Belt states, there's literally people right now doing time in prison because they were consuming marijuana or they had cannabis on their possession. And I think that's just crazy because over here in California, you could go to the store if you're 21 or older and go buy some. And then if you're having a hangover or if you're like women that women in their menstrual cycles, if you're having issues, I know women that would tell me like, oh, they're having issues, so they smoke and it helps out with their menstrual issues. But yeah, there's people in the Bible Belts that are doing time in jail because of that. But look, the reclassification is not helping them. They're still serving their time, and that is not right at all. That's terrible.
The way I see it is,
but we're making steps towards progress.
Everybody that judges weed smokers for wanting to have a better daily activity functioning weed smokers, they shouldn't be. I mean, I don't know what to say because there's a saying in Spanish that todo lo que se hace en la vida, or whatever the case may be, everything that happens in life will be paid in this life.
Oh, does that mean that? So
everybody that judges you for something that they also do is going to be judged, whatever, in the heavens or whatever. And I'm just saying that because today I got pulled over for technically having my phone in my hand.
No, that was today?
Yeah.
Damn. Where?
I'm going to fight it. I was driving from...
What county?
It's in San Bernardino County I don't know what city it was. But the CHP saw me and he's like, dude,
CHP.
These MFers always have their phones in their hands and they're always they're not above the law and they think they are. But the point is, I know how to beat it.
Yeah.
I've beaten you beat your last ticket, right? I told you how to do it or whatever. You did it on your own. But point is, I'm going to beat it. And it's like,
fight it.
You can't judge me for something that you yourself have done. It's like a lot of these politicians want to judge people for things, and I'm not trying to get political or anything like that. I'm just saying is that these politicians want to do this, that, and the other when they do things behind closed doors, and it's like, the only one that can judge us is up there.
You know what? That's so right. The guy who pulled you over, for sure, he has been on his phone while driving.
Many times.
I think
above the law.
The most messed up part is for whatever you want to call them, a cop, CHP, safety officer, whatever you want to call them. They literally have a laptop in their computer.
Yeah.
They're literally, as you're driving, they're literally punching in the license plate and looking it up. That's not safe. That's the same thing.
I was praying my rosary with my phone in my ear, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta pull you over. I pulled you over because you had your phone in your hand." I'm like, He's like, he's also considered distracted driving. I'm like, really? Distracted driving?
That's your religion. You should have religious freedom. You should have religious freedom. Hey, that's a good one. Religious freedom.
And I'm like,
that's one of the things.
It doesn't matter. I know how to beat it.
Yeah, that's one of the things enacted in this world.
Yeah,
religious freedom.
If you MFer that pulled me over today, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna beat it. You're not gonna show up in court, and I'm gonna make sure that it gets dismissed.
But you know what? That is true, because
my first offense.
Religious churches don't even pay taxes because of freedom. So let alone that. But you know what? Back to the statistics.
Okay, yeah. So the point is that it's not fair that all these athletes in the world have to use cannabis so they can get back to sorts. They have to recuperate their bodies, and that's the only thing that helps them out, because they're not going to use heroin. They're not going to use cocaine.
Or even any of these other drugs like
like hard drugs.
Ibuprofen.
Tylenol doesn't do much. It helps you at the moment. Yes, it's helpful.
I can't think of exactly what drug or what athlete, but I think I want to quote Ricky Williams saying, like, okay, when you're a professional football player, you're taking like mean hits all the time. Like even me playing high school football, that's not even collegiate football. That's not even professional football. The next day you were sore. The next day, bam, like,
but you're feeling the you feel the after effects when you get older. You don't feel them when you're young enough,
Yeah, and then when you're playing older, like even nowadays, I work out and I have to make sure I like stretch and do everything well, because if not, then I'll get an injury. So let alone for these older dudes that are playing at a professional level, then they have like pains and aches, and then the doctors will like say, here, take this, and I'll be like ibuprofen or Tylenol, whatever the
Advil.
But Advil is the name of the product. There's like
but
there's like a name for the actual ingredient.
Acetaminophen.
There you go. Acetaminophone.
Whatever.
We bought acetaminophone.
Whatever.
We have the computer right here.
The president himself cannot pronounce it. The acetaminophen or something like that. But yeah, that's the ingredient. But point is that we have to we're not perfect. We have to go like to what works. Because if you're in pain, you're going to have to do this, whatever. Or you can go Eastern medicine, or you can go Western medicine, which is basically pills.
Acetaminophen. Yeah, so
acetaminophen or something like that.
So yeah, the football player,
hydrocodone.
The athlete was saying that he would rather just consume something natural like cannabis, something that's it's like an orange, like a pear, it's
from the earth.
An avocado. It's from the earth. It's a product that you can consume.
It grows. It's a plant. It helps you out.
So he said that he would rather do that and have less side effects from it versus taking Tylenol, acetaminophen, and then from that you have because you could overdose literally from Tylenol if you take too many, and
Okay, look, plain and simple. There's a hypocrisy where alcohol, which has been around for ages, thousands of years or whatever, how you want to put it, here in the United States is regulated technically, but the only reason why the U.S. government doesn't allow it to be regulated is because they're not collecting taxes from it. But that's what, new thinking does, is like, oh, we can regulate it, but we have to collect taxes from it. And that's the problem right there, because the federal government wants to collect taxes from it. And that's why it puts it in a certain schedule according to the FDA or whatever.
And you know what? I think a good reason why they're now like allowing it to be reclassified as a Schedule 3 drug versus a Schedule 1 is because California took the initiative. California made it legalized. Finally, I mean, California, we've been slacking for a lot. But this is one of the things that we took initiative.
California is the most liberal state in the union right now.
Yes. But, okay, so 38 states have legalized marijuana medicinally or recreationally. That means only 12 because there's 50 states. I mean,
usually red states.
51 with Puerto Rico and whatnot.
Puerto Rico's not a state yet. It's a U.S. territory.
Same thing. So, okay, so basically 12 states have not made it legal, which 12 states is probably them Bible Belt study states, which is like, dude, that's messed up. Like 38 of the states, which is the majority of the United States, like we don't criminalize it. Like if you consume it, okay, whatever. It's like alcohol. Just don't drive while you're smoking. Don't drink while you're driving. And, same laws apply. Be responsible with it. But to criminalize somebody for it, just for walking around or like just having it on your possession, that's not right.
The pros, they need that. They need cannabis. They need THC or CBD because that's how they recuperate. And that's, it brings down the recuperation time.
I think it's better to give people the option. Like if you want to recuperate with, what do you call it? With the pharmaceutical drugs, then fine. You have that option. Yeah. If you want to recuperate like that,
hydrocodone, you have that option. Or the methadone or whatever.
Methadone. But if you want to recuperate with natural herbs, acetaminophen. But if you want to recuperate with natural herbs and natural medicine, then that's cool too. I mean, I think they should give athletes that option or everybody that option. But a really good thing that they did is that Schedule 3, putting it as Schedule 3 versus Schedule 1. Schedule 3, now weed is next to testosterone and hydrocodone. Like hydrocodone is the stuff they give you when you when you have it like
it's generic. It's generic hydrocodone. Yeah.
Like not heroin. Heroin is Schedule 1. Like that's horrible. No. That's terrible.
Hydrocodone is generic.
Like if someone in my family is doing heroin, I'm gonna sock you in the face. I'm like, you better put that down before I sock you in the face. Versus if you're doing marijuana, I'm be like, you shouldn't smoke that. It's bad for your lungs, but it's your life.
Okay.
But if you're doing heroin and you're in my family,
we don't judge.
I'm gonna punch you in the face, and you're not gonna do that around me. Tell you what.
Here at the Cali Current Podcast, we don't discriminate. So whatever you do to help you out, more power to you. We don't judge. Whatever you do, it's your prerogative. It's your life. Just make sure that you're controlling it and you do it at the comfort of your own home.
At a responsible level.
Yeah.
I mean, cannabis use disorder affects 9% of users. Like only 9% of users will have a bad effect, according to the National Institute on Drug Abuse. Alcohol causes 140,000 deaths per year, according to the Center of Disease Control.
Because they're in cahoots with the U.S. government. Because alcohol,
I believe that.
People can die from it because, it's regulated by the U.S. government because they collect taxes on it.
Marijuana has...
Everything else, no, they don't. That's why they don't Schedule 1 it anymore. I mean, that's why they Schedule 1 it instead of Schedule 3 it.
And according to the National Health Institute and the Center for Disease Control, marijuana has no recorded fatal overdose deaths. You cannot overdose on marijuana. I mean, you'll get effed up, but you won't overdose. You can't die off it. You'll get really hungry and really sleepy, but you will not die.
Call them munchies, baby.
You could overdose on water and die.
Yeah, you can overdose on everything else except for marijuana. True. And
so
I only say it from experience, not because I know full hand.
Yeah, so for all of you youngsters that are under 21, I do not endorse you. If you haven't tried marijuana, I do not suggest it or do not endorse it. But for those that are over 21, if you're feeling terrible, if you're feeling woozy, if you went on a cruise ship and you feel like throwing up, guess what will save you?
I was 35
Marijuana
when I
will
first
save you.
used it, just recreationally. Yeah, exactly. We don't condone it. We don't condemn it. But if it helps you, that's on you.
But yeah, hey, this is just a little basic thing that we're talking about because the president just want to schedule it from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. I applaud him for that. But if he wants another applaud, I would say release the Epstein files and we want full transparency.
He won't. Thank you very much for being here at the Cali Current Podcast. We do appreciate you for being here. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, and don't forget to always comment if you have any future recommendations for future topics.
Or send us a DM if you want to be in the public. I know a lot of you are introverts and a little bit shy. Send us a DM and let us know what you want to talk about, and we will bring up the subject.
We love you very much. Thank you very much for being here. We'll see you on the next one, all right? Thank you.
Peace.
Take care.